Cool. What is up, world? John Shoot here with another Puff Creative podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of being with Cameron Ned. Cam, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you having me on, bro, for sure.
No worries. And you're in Denver right now too, with me, huh?
Yep.
But we're
Enjoying this.
doing the virtual podcast.
Yeah, you know.
So Cam, we've kind of met through the cannabis industry, through Whitney McCarter. You've been doing a bunch of influencer work, product reviews, modeling in the cannabis space. I see you have your Pheno Finder sweatshirt on, so figure you just give us a higher level of Pheno Finder and how and what's going on with that project.
So pretty much, I started Pheno Finder a little bit over a year ago, and that was I do a lot of things. Like I do a lot of things. I was personal training. I was playing on a basketball team at the
I
same
seen
time.
you dunk out there on the Instagram.
Yes, sir. I need to get back out there. I'm a little injured right now. I need to get back out there. Summer's coming, but. Um, yeah, so I was doing a lot of things, and I was like, man, I'm kind of getting away. I was kind of getting away from cannabis. I worked in a couple different shops, inventory manager, store manager, things like that. So I was kind of getting away from it, doing all these other things. And I was like, I really want to combine. My overall goal eventually is to combine health and fitness with cannabis and show people that can be used together. I see people doing it and stuff. But I was trying to do that like hands-on with training, and it wasn't really working. So I kind of fell back from like the cannabis industry a little bit. And then I just had this spark. I was like, man, I need to be in it. I need to be in it. So I was like, you know what? What do I love? I was in the shops. Like I said, I was an inventory manager. So I was always around the strains. And I just had this like love for I would just sit in the back, just smell this, smell that, look at this, look at that. I became able to like identify, like I know a lot of people can do this just if you're around weed a lot. You can identify weed just by looking at it, just by
Yeah,
smelling it. At least somewhere in the ballpark what it is,
what
right?
strain it is or where it came from.
Yeah. So like I was like, man, let me just start reviewing strains. So I remember Green Dot had a drop, and I was like, this is the perfect time to do it. This is like the first time they ever dropped weed, flower form. Let me just put my camera up and go. And I started it, and I just been kind of like riding the wave with it. Like you said, I've got some modeling gigs from it. I just decided, I just came up with the name Pheno Finder,
I love
and
it.
it sounded good. Appreciate you. And I got my homie to do the graphic design for me. Hooked me up with his clothing brand, the Garden Club. So we got a little
Oh, sick.
on. I'm just kind of like I said, just riding that wave. And you can call me an influencer or whatever you like to call me. I kind of am doing that, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk to people in DMs. People ask me for my opinion on things, and it's like when it first starts to happen, it's like, wow, like this is really happening. And then
It's important information. Like I think it's, you walk into a dispensary, there's like a million strains out there, I feel like. So I think it's really cool that you provide that more like intimate and like personal education where like a lot of times, people learn information and details and like experience from just like reading marketing materials from brands that normally might not
right,
be on point, especially considering like everyone's different, everyone's experience is different, etc. So I think like, yeah, I think it's great you're doing that because it makes your experience more relatable to like consumers than just like, going in the dispo and asking a bud tender who you don't even know
right,
what to get.
right.
So that's awesome, man. We'll circle back to Pheno Finder. I want to pick apart your story just a little bit more. First, where are you from originally? And you've moved to Denver like in the past couple of years, from what I understand.
Yeah, so I've been out here for 6 years. I'm from born in DC, raised in Maryland, raised in DC a little bit too, but DMV area, you can call it that, PG County, Maryland. And then
Okay.
I went to Penn State, so I lived up there for like 5 years as well. So
Oh, okay. So yeah, you grew up in a non-legal state and then went to school in a non-legal state, just like myself.
yep.
When did like cannabis come into the picture, like in your life, really?
So in school in Penn State, I was at Penn State Harrisburg. So they have branch campuses. It's like 18 different Penn State schools, which are
Yeah,
all
yeah. It's
one.
like Rutgers. I went to Rutgers. It's like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I was at Penn State Harrisburg campus for a while, and I got hurt playing ball. So I was playing basketball there. I got hurt, and my roommates at the time was smoke. Now I wasn't roommates with anybody on the basketball team. These are like random people because my college career and how I got into college was like last minute because I was trying to play ball and all this stuff. Long story short, I was hanging with people who didn't play ball, right? So they live in that college life, right?
Yeah.
So I seen them smoking. I never smoked before, but you know, I was like, I can't do that, you know? And then I got hurt. I was like, my school don't even drug test like that. We signed a thing to say we could get drug tested, but they never did. It's Division III. I'm like, I'm hurt. It's about to be Christmas break. Let me hit that. Right? I hit it. I hit my first J. It was like my freshman year of college. So this is like 07, like November, December, probably the beginning of December, something like that, is when I really first really smoked.
Interesting. So it was kind of more like out of curiosity, or did you think it would help with like your pain and stuff?
I didn't think it would help with the pain at all. It was just curiosity. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just getting into college, experiencing new
Yeah.
things and trying, like, you know, I had that notion that it was like a bad thing at first growing up.
Yeah. Because you grew up. Yeah, man. It's
Right.
understandable.
So, you know, but I'm around people who are doing it all the time and I'm like, they look like they're having the time of their lives. Like, oh my God, like that looks great. Like, what's wrong with that? Let me try it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And
that's how I started. Yeah, curiosity.
so what point did like was there a point when you started like mixing it with your sports and mixing it into your lifestyle and like realizing the additional benefits that there were?
Definitely. Yeah. So a couple years later, like I said, that was like '07. So then like 2 years later, 2009, I went to the main campus of Penn State. And I transferred, I switched my major, and I had to, and I didn't want to play ball. I didn't want to play ball anymore. I was done playing ball. I was cool on it. But you know, I love the sport. So I would go play intramurals and pick up games and all the time, right? Great competition as well. So, you know, just like being back home or whatever, it's like good competition. I would smoke before I would go, or like I would have smoked throughout the day, and I would go, and I would realize, I'm like, damn, I'm high. Walk on the court, and I would like forget what I'm doing. Like I would get in the zone. Like I never had felt that in my life. I would
Yep.
always, I've been a pretty good basketball player my whole life. But like, and it's been times I've maybe reached the zone, but not like this.
Yep.
Not like this. I'm just flowing. I'm doing new moves. I was like, whoa, what did I just do?
I just crossed myself up. Yeah.
Oh, real. Like, yeah. So I really started tapping into it at that point when I could just experiment freely. I didn't have to worry about like my coaches, you know, smelling me and shit
Yep.
like that. Like,
No,
you know,
I totally can relate to that, man. With like, I feel the same way with like skating and snowboarding and surfing and stuff. That zone that you're talking about, I think, is like a huge part of why not everyone, but like a lot of people consume.
mhm.
Because I think that zone applies to basketball, soccer, baseball, skating, work, art, music, going to concerts. Like, I live for the zone.
Yeah, for sure. It's like being in that state of flow. Some people call it a state of flow or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah, man. So like I realized that it helps and enhances my life at that point. And I started to learn more about the medicinal things and how we've been lied to by the government and like, you know, all these different studies. They don't really tell you how the studies are performed, how you suffocate monkeys with weed to just
To
to
just,
tell you.
yeah, get bad statistics out there and shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, they
insane.
do all types of things just to say, oh, it kills brain cells. Like, you know, but like,
Yeah, not to mention they're giving them like mids with like pesticides in it and shit, probably.
you know, all those other things. Exactly. So I got hip to how like to you know, just life. You know what I'm saying? I was a naive
Yeah,
kid coming up. I mean, I was 17 going into college. I was the youngest dude on my basketball team, like all this stuff. Like, so I was just like, you know, really learning and growing. And like it was really nice to be able to grow with cannabis as I was becoming a, you know, growing into like young adulthood for
that's
real. Yeah.
awesome. So would you say so that kind of passion and that realization that you had kind of has led to where you're at now with Pheno Finder? Would you say that kind of all kind of ties together for you? Because you're trying because with Pheno Finder, it seems like you're trying to break down and review different strains and terps and flavors and whatnot out there, so people know how to get into that zone, or they know exactly what type of experience they're getting.
Yes, yes. So yeah, basic, yeah. Well said. Very well said. And like pretty much just to expand on that. Um, my thing with cannabis is it's not black and white. It's not cut and dry, right? It's just so many nuances and little things to it that like it's hard to market it as a company when companies are coming in like it's something else. Like
Yeah.
if it's like food or something, okay, yeah, this is food. Da, 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 we got burgers. You're gonna eat them, you're gonna be full. Weed, a
Yeah,
lot
it's
more
not
to
like that.
you want it to smell a certain way. You want it to look a certain way. You want it to hit a certain way and feel a certain way in your hand. It's so many things. So what I try to do with Pheno Finder is really break that down for the consumer, for the patient, for the connoisseur, the aficionado, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I really just try and break that down for them so that they can know what strain they're getting into. And I always say, like, it's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I never like to say what's the best. Now, in terms of quality, we can talk about best quality and like who grows the best and like all those things. But like in terms of like best strain, I don't really talk about that too much because like I try to help people find what's good for them. So I just, even if it's something I don't really like, if it's good quality, I'm gonna smoke it on the show. Like example, Tangy. I don't like Tangy. It just doesn't like do. I'm not saying it don't get me high. It just doesn't do what I want it to do for me, right? In terms of a high. So like I'll tell people, yeah, this is great if you like this, but I don't like this. It's not the way I like to smoke. I like OGs, headbang, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I'm saying?
everyone's different. You like to point that out so people just aren't. You're not just saying what people think that. You're not just saying what you like people want to hear. Like you want to be honest with them, which I think is super important. Is
Yeah.
there any strains out there that like specific strains from some brand or anything that um like are your go-to, like personally, that you just love?
I mean, honestly, lately, I have been just like I said, I've been reviewing so many strains lately that I haven't been smoking the same things. It's
All
been
the
a while
time?
since I smoked
Yeah.
this same thing
What are
like
you
for
what are you
a while.
smoking right now?
This is Honolulu Strange from Simply Pure.
Oh, nice, Wanda. It's my
Yeah,
girl.
it's
I love
it's
Simply Pure, man. They're I used to live right down the street and used to go to their dispensary all the time. And then just from like social media, like I'm friend like just DMing and sharing their content. Like they're the lady who runs the account, like the front desk lady, she runs their Twitter, and like we're just super close because of Twitter. It's kind of funny how social media works like that in the cannabis industry specifically.
yes.
Especially here in Denver. I mean, like I feel like I met you through it. Like, how many people have you met through social and like reach out to you? And it's just like
Wow.
insane.
It's a new world we living in, man. It's a new world we living in. It's cool to
It
see.
is. Um, so this is awesome, man. I want to end on just one thing because what comes to mind is just like all the change that's happening in the world around us. All the change that's happening in cannabis, and the industry is like expanding so rapidly. Where do you like in your perfect world, like where would you like to see, the industry going from like a legal perspective? Um, like, do you see, like, do you want it to focus on like the quality of the plant? Do you want to see, social equity stuff going on? Um, what are your thoughts? And this is totally just like an open question. I know it's like a big one, but
So yeah, I mean, well, as everything's going, it seems like it's going to be federally legal soon. So that seems to be a good thing. But I just hope that we keep the integrity of the culture alive. That's my
I
main thing. You know,
100% agree.
one, the people gotta get out of jail. We gotta let them out of jail. If it's weed, they gotta be out. You know what I'm saying? If it's just
Right
weed,
away.
at least expunge those. If they got other stuff too, they gotta deal with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
exactly.
if it's
Exactly.
just
Yeah, because it's like there's people who've like killed people who are in jail for less time. Like it's
right,
absolutely insane. Like,
it doesn't
like
make
is
sense.
are we in the fucking Twilight Zone? I swear to
Like we gotta get some common sense. So like that's the one big thing. But then to keep the culture alive, you know what I'm saying? Not to let it get like watered down by these big corporations. And I know
100%.
I know it's necessary though at the same time. Big corporations are necessary for everything. The way this world works, the way our society is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't get away from it. But, I just hope we keep the quality up. We keep the boutique shops, people to weigh out the weed and stuff. I don't mind prepackaged, it's cool too. But like, we gotta at least have those options too. I don't want to
Yeah.
see it change so much.
Yeah, because it's gonna because your fear seems like mine, because people forget this all the time, but the quality of the plant is the most important thing to this whole industry and everything that we're doing and talking about here. You
That's
can have
it.
you have the coolest brand packaging, you're in a million stores, but like if your flower sucks, like what are we even what are we
Right.
even doing? Like it doesn't make any
Exactly.
sense. It's a medicine, it's like. Man, yeah. Well, I think that's a really good note to end on, man. I really appreciate your time. And where can people find you right now? Is Instagram the main source, you'd say?
Yep. Instagram is the main source at Consciously Cam on Instagram. The Pheno Finder.
Consciously Cam, and yeah, Pheno Finder is your main title on there. I'll make sure I plug that into the podcast link. Cam, I appreciate your time, man. We gotta get together and smoke and play ball soon. Yeah,
Definitely.
man. Thank you so much again, and I'll talk to you soon, brother.
Hey, much love, bro. Appreciate you having me on.